Fervent Friday. Pray you all having a blessed day. Go ahead and get my secondary screen set up. We'll go ahead and get into today's lesson. All right. Give everybody the opportunity to come on in really quickly here. All right, hit that like as y'all come in. Baba Kusha, Baba Kusha. Shalom, shalom. Good to see you, King. Good to Shalom, Sister Antoinette. Good to see you, sis. Alright. Go ahead and get this started. Balloon popping on the Most High. Know y'all seen those dating shows and things of that nature where rarely do you see Edomites doing this balloon popping stuff, right? More or less you see our people saying that they're looking for love and all of that good stuff, right? Shalom, King James Shooter. Let me get my Bible here. Just gonna get this started. Now they playing with the Most High. No different than how they play with each other on them actual little shows and whatnot, right? So. And right now ain't the time to be balloon popping when it comes to choosing the Most High or choosing the world, right? Y'all see China and Russia, they're like, hey, it's time for us to step up too. They're starting to put their boats out there in that little river area out there in the straits, right? So we're going to go ahead and get into it, right? The first scripture is going to be Titus chapter 1, verse 16. Y'all see the gas prices going up, the next going to be food. You think these trucks ain't going to require more money for the gas? Right. They said the gas should be at $3.28, $3.30, depending on where you at. And they said by next week, it'll be at $3.50 or higher, right? See, this ain't the time to play with the Lord, man. This ain't the time to be in the middle, right? Get starved out in situations like this. Get starved out real easy, right? The book of Titus, chapter 1, verse 16, right? It says, they profess that they know God, right? Let's think about that for a second. Yeah, it should be. They done went and took all that gas from Venezuela, but it's not, right? It says they profess that they know God all the time, right? God bless America. In God we trust. Shalom, Yapa, Tazalaya, Ariva, right? All the time they act like they know God, but do they really know God, right? They be balloon popping on the Most High. Oh, keep the commandments? Bah. I can't have shrimp, crab, lobster? Bah. I gotta wear a dress, can't wear pants, and I'm a woman? Bah. I gotta have a beard, and I'm a man? Bah. Right? They popping those balloons on what the Most High's asking. Right? Now, did Christ get on that cross and die for nothing? People spitting on him, hitting him with rocks, insulting him, mocking him. Baba Kushaj, y'all come on in. Y'all hit that like button. See, there's only one like up there. We want to spread this to the four corners of the earth, because based on what's going on right now, our people need to know that the Most High, he ain't going for none of it. And if this is World War III and things about to hit the wall, you got to be prepared. Because most people, like a frog in a pot, you're not keeping up with what's going on, right? They're not keeping up with what's going on. And what they're doing is they're professing that they know God, right? They're professing that they know God. They deny him, right? But in their works, they deny him. This is what's going on. When it's time to keep those commandments, what do? They come in the chat. You ain't got to keep the commandments. Christ did away with the commandments. So why is Titus saying this, right? We profess that we know God, right? Did not the children of Israel say we're going to keep all the commandments, right? When the Most High revealed himself to the children of Israel, did we not as a people say we're going to keep those commandments? We're going to keep them, Lord. Yes, Lord. We're going to keep them, right? But guess what? What did our people do? They backslid. They didn't keep them. And now all that is they balloon popping on the Most High. As soon as the commandments walk in, as soon as walking with the Lord upright walks in, as soon as being a righteous man or woman walks in, it pop, 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 pop. Popping those balloons, right? The Lord's choosing you. He give you the opportunity to get your balloon back. Just like the show. But a lot of people, hey, they're not here for that, right? Get that 2 Ezra 7:24. Stack that up with this Titus 1:16 real quick. It says, but in works they deny him. You denying the Lord in works. What if the Lord denied you in works and didn't give you breath or gave you shortness of breath? You could see out of one eye, right? You could hear out of one ear. I had that happen. Getting off a plane. Most High had me not be able to hear out my left ear for 3 months. And the hearing came back slowly but surely. And I had to trust in the Lord. Can't go to man because all they're going to take is, we don't know. Nothing's wrong with your ear. We did an x-ray. Nothing's wrong with it. We're just going to look and see what happens, right? This was Passover, I want to say my second Passover I kept with the congregation. The year we wore red and black garments. Got off the plane, fine. Went to work, the next day, fine. Got into a meeting in the afternoon, took the headphones off my ear, right? And I noticed I couldn't hear nothing out my left ear. I said, wow. So I thought it was going to go away, after a while. You know how it is when you get off the airplane. Oh, no. 90 days. Yeah, that wasn't fun at all, right? Yeah, 2 Ezra, chapter 7, and verse 24. That goes to that Titus 1:16, talking about them works, right? I'm going to read it. The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 7, verse 24. But his law have they despised and denied his covenants. In his statutes have they not been faithful and have not performed his works. This is what our people doing. They balloon popping on the Most High. That's the last person to pop on. That's your healer, your financial advisor, your security guard, your protection, right? All of the things that you need to operate safely, right? And that's that 2 Ezra 7:24. Talking about in works they deny him, right? Why are we denying the Lord in works? When he providing works for us? Did you wake up to a lifeless child in the bed this morning? A lifeless spouse, right? You have enough life, you can hear, you can see, you can touch, you can taste. A lot of people, hey, can't take this stuff for granted, man. The Most High is moving. We're getting close to Passover. You already know he don't play around this time. He don't really play about no time. But Passover, that's when you see it in full effect. The Most High is not out here for no games, right? It says, being abominable and disobedient, and to every good work reprobate. That's exactly what this scripture was stating in 2nd Ezra 7:24. Right? And I'll read it again. But his law have they despised. Pop that balloon, right? Denied his covenant. Pop, right? In his statutes have they not been faithful. Pop, pop, right? And have not performed his works. He said that the laws are not grievous. It's not hard, right? You go to work, oh, so-and-so ain't coming to work, so you got to work a double shift. Oh, why can't you? You got a double shift, bro. That's what you work. Hey, that's what I say. That's how it's going, right? So I say that's how it's going. It's like here. It's like it, right? But we want to act reprobate. Shalom, shalom, Aquaf Barbie. Good to see you, sis. Right? We want to act reprobate with the only person that's going to get revenge for all the things we upset about. Right? Let's go to Jeremiah 5:2. Because our people not going to learn. They're going to keep popping them balloons on the Lord to the Most High. Blow out your candle. You can do it. It's nothing. There's children being born right now. There's a child dying right now. It's in and out, right? You can't play with the Lord. You can't play with him. But yet, people be thinking the Lord is for joke. The book of Jeremiah chapter 5:2, right? It says, and though they say, the Lord liveth, surely they swear falsely, right? They swear falsely. They go, oh, thus say the Lord. I'm going to do it. Yeah. And guess what? As soon as they get out the eyesight of other Israelites, they back in sin, right? And there's a judgment for that. We can't pop the balloon on the Lord, right? Correct. Yes, you can call the one in the description. The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 12, right? Because guess what? They swear falsely as I am the bar, right? Which means you're welcome. They swear falsely, right? Even though in Jeremiah 5:2 is they swear or they say the Lord liveth surely. They swear falsely. What does Leviticus 9:12 warn us about, right? It says, and ye shall not swear by my name falsely. But that's what them people doing. They popping them balloons on the Lord. Popping them balloons on Christ. Christ did away with the laws. Pop, pop, pop. Christ never said that. Everybody's getting into heaven. Pop, pop, pop. Christ never said that. Neither did his Father, right? Christ died for everybody. Pop, pop, pop. So I guess the angel that came down and talked to Mary and said, he's coming to save his people. Christ was a Jew. If he's coming to save his people, how is that everybody? Why didn't the angel say he's coming to save the whole world, everybody? Because that's not what the message was, right? But the scripture says, ye shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shall thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord, right? This is the law. But what the heathens do? The heathens were like, oh no. You know, y'all got it wrong. So you calling God a liar? You calling Christ a liar? You calling the angel that told Mary what he was going to do a liar? Right? Because when you find out you can't go, now all of a sudden, oh, he didn't say that. He don't mean it like that. Oh no. Because when your ancestors was being so wicked upon the earth, You wasn't concerned with that, right? Because you know what you tell us? When we say something about what Edomites have done to the 12 tribes of Israel, y'all want to play the victims. We talk about Native Americans, y'all want to play the victims. Want to play the victims, y'all made movies about it. Y'all have mocked the Native Americans time and time again. It's a joke to you. You make a movie like Pocahontas and make it seem like she was hot in the pants for John Smith. That was a little girl. He was a grown man. Why didn't I cancel Pocahontas? Why didn't I cancel John Smith? Right? Y'all get on R. Kelly, but you'll let y'all children watch Pocahontas. Right? They can't make it make sense. You know why? Because they don't care. A lot of our people don't care either. That's why 2/3 of the Israelites ain't gonna even make it. Right? So when we're talking about 12 gates, 12 angels, a lot of them ain't gonna make it. So you worried about who can get in, guess what? Some of the people that's supposed to get in ain't getting in. So they'll be here with you. For their disobedience, for listening to the doctrine of Esau, to the doctrine of heathens, right? Doctrine of devils. Get that 1 John, right? And we're going to get chapter 2, and we're going to go 3 and 4, right? Because everybody swears they know the Most High. Everybody swears they're going to do what God say do. I'm going to keep the commandments. I'm going to do thus say the Lord, I promise. I swear, you're swearing by the Lord's name. You little children out here saying, on me, on G, on this person, on that person. Y'all swearing falsely, right? The book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 3, right? It says, and hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. Now, wait a minute. This was written to prove a point or something, but they're going to tell you, you ain't got to keep the laws. You can eat them shrimps. You can eat them lobsters. You can have all that abomination on your plate. You can have that pork, anything, right? And you go right along and have it. You balloon popping on the Lord now. You may not get your balloon back. That pop may lead to enough air in a pop, enough breeze to blow your candle out. People don't think about that. They do not think about that, right? Well, the way that we know the Lord is we keep his commandments. Christianity tells you you ain't got to keep them, right? Yeah, they're going to make them attempts. They're going to make them over and over. Look at verse 4. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not with him. But guess what? When they come in the chat, and I call them liars, and I tell them, you don't know the Lord, you're misrepresenting what the Lord is saying. Guess what they call us? A cult. And they call us everything but who we are, because we're telling people, do thus say the Lord. Keep the commandments. Serve the Lord. Love the Lord with all thy heart. And how do you do that? By keeping his commandments. Oh, you keep all the commandments? Why wouldn't you want to? You read the Bible and then you don't feel like you got to do nothing. Well, Paul said, Paul ain't going to be the one letting you in the gate. It didn't say one gate with Paul letting people in. Paul don't run heaven. He don't run Christ. Paul don't run the Most High. Right? Paul was a faithful servant of the Lord. He in heaven looking like, hey, well, these people tripping out here. Because you got to put it on somebody. Right? You got to put it on somebody. So they're going to put it on a dead man. Oh, Paul said this, and Paul said that. Yeah, okay. We're going to see how far that gets you with the Lord. We're going to see if Paul, the Most High, put Paul through a lot of excruciating things. Stoned to death, shipwreck, right? In prison, beat repeatedly. But you gonna put it on Paul, right? What, he had it harder than Christ? No. Nowhere near harder than Christ. Paul created havoc in the church, as the scriptures state. But guess what? The scripture says right here in 1 John chapter 2, verse 4, he that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not with him or in him. Verse 5, but whoso keepeth his word, in him, verily, the love of God perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him. How you gonna know you in the Lord? You keep his commandments. You doing thus say him, not thus say yourself. Right? Well, a lot of people want to do thus say they self, and then guess what? You can't yourself can't raise yourself back when the affliction is put on you. When the Most High put a spirit on you, a sickness, right? A spirit of despair, a spirit of pain, right? A spirit of confusion. When these spirits are dispatched and put upon you, guess what? You can't get them out of there. You can't get them out of there. The only person that can get them off is the person that put them on, the Most High. Go to Sirach chapter 20, verse 26, right? It says, the disposition of a liar is dishonorable, and his shame is ever with him, right? The disposition of a liar, right? Because guess what? Your shame is with you because you're not keeping those commandments, right? And they'll say, well, hey, I heard you Israelites ain't supposed to have no bald head and have a beard. Where's yours at? Asking the same thing. Where my eyebrows? Ain't nothing there. With my eyelashes. You worried about that, right? Where's that? Oh, I didn't even realize that. Oh, it's because I have alopecia. That was the will of the Lord. I'm forehead bald. As the scriptures say, I am clean. You see what I'm saying? But when you shave your face and you got 1,000 razor bumps, you thought you was Rico Suave. You thought you was, you know what I'm saying, cooler than cool. You was going to pull all the ladies and do all of that type of stuff. Guess what? You can't. Because your face looking like the back of a Nestle Crunch Bar. Bumpy Johnson. Your face like a trunk full of speakers, got nothing but bump in it. Right? The female want to rub their hands up against that. Oh, well, my job said I got to cut my beard. Okay. Ahmed ain't cut his off. You need to be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Figure out, hey, Ahmed, what kind of paperwork you got to not sign you, not shave your beard off? Yeah, contact the EOE. They gonna get them together. You want to operate? Hey, this person needs to have their beard for their spiritual purposes, for their religious purposes, whatever they documented on the paper. I was asking for my feast days off at another job. They had me a 7-day Adventist. Even I told them I'm an Israelite. They're like, I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna put it down 7-day Adventist. As long as I got my feast days and my days off, it don't matter because y'all not gonna listen anyway, right? Because guess what? You want to make sure you're not walking in the disposition of a liar. That's dishonorable, right? For a man, woman, or child. Oh, I promise I'm not going to do this anymore. And then 5-10 minutes later, what you doing? You're doing it again. You're a liar. Yeah, a lot of people don't even know who God is, let alone what an Israelite is. Right? Exactly. A 7-day Adventist is somebody who on the 7th day they're supposed to be keeping the Sabbath. That's another man-made religion. I said, hey, if it's gonna give me the Sabbath off, and I can get my feast days off, and we ain't gotta argue about it, hey, no problem. Right? Probably did, probably didn't, but guess what? At the end of the day, as long as the Most High made my enemy my footstool, that's all I can give him praise for, right? Go over to Sirach chapter 10, right? Because guess what? You don't want to be walking around with your shame with you forever. Your shame is following you around like a storm cloud, right? Sirach chapter 10, verse 19. It says, they that fear the Lord. Again, we know what fear the Lord is. They that fear the Lord are sure seed, and they that love him are honorable plant. They that regard not the law are a dishonorable seed. They that transgress the commandments are a deceivable seed, right? We got to look at why these people want to be a deceivable seed, right? Why you want to be a deceivable seed? Because you're still popping the balloon on the commandments. You're still popping the balloon on the Lord. You're still popping the balloon on Christ. When you found out you was an Israelite and you came out of the world and you came into keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and the truth, you got your balloon back. You want to pop it again? Because let me tell you something. Like at the end when they say, we got a match, you want to match up with what the Lord asking you to do so you can get into heaven, man. You want to match up. You see what Ishmael going through over there in the Middle East. They got remote control airplanes tearing everything up. Well, people thought it was a joke. We kept saying, hey, World War III coming. Get you some provisions. Get you some water, right? Get you some food. Seek the Lord first. Put him first. Keep the commandments. Keep the high holy days. We kept telling y'all. Now, guess what? It's coming to fruition. It's coming. And now people are going to be like, oh, I used to watch them online all the time. Yeah. Now YouTube don't work no more. Now what you going to do? Now what you going to do? Didn't take no notes. Like the captains tell you, take some good notes. You're going to have to lean on these scriptures. These are going to be a crutch when that power don't exist no more. When there's no more power. Right? These are going to be a crutch. When things are looking like the Book of Eli. Looking like one of them zombie apocalypse movies. Yeah. Because people over here, where we at, they don't know how to act. They tear the place up for some shoes. And probably don't even got the money to buy the shoes. But still will tear that whole store up about some shoes. Or they can't get this or can't get this on Black Friday. Or this or that happened. Right? We got to know who we are and make sure that we're not operating in a transgression of commandments, making us a deceivable seed. I want to be an honorable plant. I definitely want to be an honorable plant. But a lot of people, they don't look at that. They're okay with being a deceivable seed. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 10. Let's go there real quick. Right? They're okay with that. And then when it come down to shoot, now it's woe is me. No. The Most High said he stuck out his hand to a stiff-necked people. Right? The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 10. It says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. Right? Come on. None of that. None of that. Right? When your refrigerator don't work, you're going to have to fast. Because you might be able to open it one time a day, if you're lucky. One time a day. You thought you just going to drink half of these children, get them in order. You gonna drink half a bottle of water, sit it down, and throw it away? No. You gonna mess over your food? I'm not that hungry. You better hold on to that plate. This might be all you got for the next 2 days. So hey, you don't know how the Lord gonna play it. They don't want a ration. They don't want a ration, King. That's the problem. I teach rationalization in here. Right? I teach that ration because guess what? If you don't, you're going to put yourself in a position where a lot of people are going to be out here acting the fool. I ain't got no food for my baby. It's on you. Should have been thinking about that before you was buying crab and lobster and posting pictures on Facebook, sis. That's why you need a man in the house. If there's a child in the house, a man needs to be in the house as well. Needs to be, like our women say, we're a package deal. If you're going to have a baby, y'all better be a package deal. Because when them scavengers come, them ravengers come, you seen the book of Eli. I don't know why women be acting like they just going to be in there like, I don't know what superhero they think they're going to be. They're not going to the gun range. They want to go to the nail shop. They're not strengthening their body. What if you had to put your body up against the door and somebody trying to kick down the front door to get to you and your babies? You know how Esau is. He touching anything. Your dog, the goldfish, your babies, you. He gonna do what he want to do, right? You seen the movies, right? This is why we can't be stuck under the strong delusion that everything's just gonna be all right. You see what the prophet said about the day of the Lord's judgment. You see what them people going through over there. Look at the news. Watch, I think, Al Jazeera's, I think. That's the one that show everything over there. Boy, they tearing that place apart. I mean, apart. They showing them, I'm like, that. Real life Call of Duty. Oh, this many people out of there. You're right. You're right. They won't see it coming. You know why? Because they too busy worried about the next time we're going to get a section at the club. How many bottles we going to get? How I'm going to get my hair? What outfit I'm going to get? What shoes I'm going to get? Right? The Most High is coming like a thief in the night. You thought you could not pay your car payment. I'm going to just back it in. Come outside, your car gone. That's how the Most High coming. That's how he's sending Christ back. Thief in the night. You thought that BMW was safe. You didn't make them 3 payments. Guess what? Out of there. You went to the gym. You go talk to that girl you know you don't have no business talking to. Guess what? BMW gone. And let's go out on my car and talk. Okay. You go outside, you get in the clicker. Ain't nothing there. She laughed you out the gym. Now you gonna ask her for a ride home? Oh man, somebody stole my car. Yeah, I bet. I bet. Because again, we're not operating under a wise understanding. A lot of us are operating under a false delusion. You get a balloon pop next to your ear, it's going to ring your ear. You keep popping that balloon over and over, sooner or later you ain't going to be able to hear nothing. Are you going to be able to hear the Lord when he call you? When he call your name? When he give you that opportunity? Are you going to be listening for that, right? 1 Corinthians 1 and 18. Right? Because a lot of them, they don't think about that. Right? When it's too late, now all of a sudden, here come the tears. No, I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear about that. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18. For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness. But unto us which are saved, it is the power of God. It says, for it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and I will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. So you got to look at it. The only wisdom you really going to have is thus said the Lord. I'm a bioengineer scientist. Most High make you wake up, you don't remember none of it. You barely know how to put gas in your car. Most High can take all of that from you. I got 1,000 recipes in my mind. I'm gonna open a food truck. Wake up, don't even know how to spell milk. You'll be sounding like a old boy on there talking about, I had noodles with no package. Finesse 2 times. Noodles with no seasoning. Right? Cereal with no milk. That's how you want to be? You want to be an astonishment, a byword? That's how we look when we're not keeping the commandments. No different than him. We don't look no different than Finesse 2 times when we get on camera. And a lot of our people, and a lot of our women, a lot of our men, a lot of our children get on camera as Israelite. Not keeping the commandments and get on there and make an astonishment of themselves. Right? They do that. They do that. Jump down to verse 21. It says, after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God. It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. Because people be thinking that keeping the commandments, doing thus say the Lord, dressing modestly, that's foolishness. That's foolishness to them. They want to do what they want to do. But guess what? You can't save yourself. Most children not strong enough to open the refrigerator. They watch you do it over and over. After a while, they figure out a way to get their little fingers in there between that rubber, and they just pull. But now they got another problem. They can't reach what they're trying to get. The microwave is even higher, right? So now you can see the food, what you gonna do about it? Right? We are babes in the eyes of the Most High, right? Romans 1:21. It says, because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Right? Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. Pop, no murk. Right? They don't have the murk precepts, as he says, right? They're not studying to show thyself approved to the Lord. It don't mean nothing to them. Oh, you talking about the Bible again? Oh, here you go with that. Okay, no problem, right? And when you tell them, hey, the Most High say he's going to destroy you for not keeping, the Lord know me. I don't know what God you talking about, but my God ain't like that. And this, that, and the third. Your God told you to go get that 3.5? You ain't pick up your children from school yet. And you mad, but I'm the best mother ever, but you had to have that 3.5. Now you upset because you can't get a ride. You could have probably offered some gas money, but no, it went on that 3.5. While you were sitting there smoking on Facebook Live. Oh, hey y'all, I gotta pick up my baby. When y'all come pick me up? And you looking at the screen. No, none of y'all gonna pick me up? I see how it is. Because I'm gonna tell you, that tax money, gift ruins the heart. It makes a lot of our people who are willfully sinning, living in sin, turn their back, pop their balloon on the Lord, and make them feel powerful. Even if it's for 1 month, even if for 1 hour, they can go get them a car. Most High take that car within 2 months. They can go get little furniture. Most High mess all that furniture up. Oh, let me get your money, your tax money, we're going to flip it. Yeah, they flip it, and that person end up going to jail with your tax money. Or the stuff that they bought to flip get stolen from them, and they get killed. Yeah, right? Because everybody swear they know the Lord, and everybody swear they serve the Lord. Look at this. The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 8, the red letter. It says, the people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips. But their heart is far from me. Right? It says, but in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines of the commandments of men. Oh, God said Christ did away with the laws. We can eat what we want to eat. We can do what we want to do. All lies, right? Drawing close, right? Just go to Ezekiel chapter 33, right? Ezekiel chapter 33. It's a lot of it. I remember I used to see the women in the grocery store. They all on Facebook. Look at all this stuff I'm getting. Yeah, shrimp, crab, snow lobster, snow crab. Oh, we finna eat good. And now you can't even buy soda and candy on the food stamps. You can't even be the candy lady no more. You thought you was coming up. Oh, I'm the candy lady. I got a storehouse. Oh, well, not no more you don't. Not no more you don't. Right? Ezekiel 33 and 31. Let's see what it says, right? Because the Most High is going to bring judgment on the mockers, right? What Matthew was that? That's Matthew 15 and verse 8. Because they go in Mark 7 and 6. So 15 and verse 8 was the Matthew's. People draw nigh to me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. You can also stack that up with Isaiah 29 and 13, with drawing near with their mouth as well. A lot of people draw near with their mouth. Draw real near. And guess what? They don't get no closer to the Lord. Because this right here, let me read this verse to you. Ezekiel 33 and 31. They come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, right? They hear the words. Just like the balloon pop. Person walk out, I want to introduce so-and-so. Pop, 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 pop. They done popped all the balloons, right? They hear the words. It says, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they shew much love. Oh, I love the Lord. I love him. I'm going to do this, right? It says, but their heart goeth after their covetousness, right? That's that Sirach 14 and 9. You can't play with the Most High, man. He will blow out your whole candle. He will blow your whole candle out. People don't believe that until you fighting for your life, man. Psalm 78. That's Psalm 7. This is going to be my last precept. Get back to that digital plantation. It's okay. Every time we got to cut it short, I'm keeping a tally in my mind. That's 10,000 more lashes for an Edomite. I'm gonna say, hold your baby up, like Lion King. I'm just gonna. Boy, if you ever played a video game back in the day, you get that Nintendo, you got that controller, they had that turbo button, you can click it on, and they just have you just. That's how it's gonna be. Whip them transparent. It's gonna be tenderism with that whip, boy. It's gonna be their skin will come right off the bone, right? Psalm 78 and 36. That's how we gonna end it out, right? Nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouth, and they lied unto him with their tongues. It says, for their heart was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. This is our people, man. This is our people. You know, I do got one more precept. This is our people. They're going to flatter with their lips. They're going, oh, yes, I love the Lord. I love the Lord. It's just you can't have on pants. Oh, out of control. Hey, brother, where your beard at? But you love the Lord, though, right? Thought you love the Lord. Why you getting belligerent? That's belligerent. They get so upset. That's that spirit being exercised. That's that exorcism right there, right? Right then and there. Jeremiah 6 and 17, and we're going to get the law, and we out of here, right? The book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 17, right? It says, I also set watchmen over you, right? Saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet trumpet is that warning, right? That's that warning. That's what that trumpet is for, right? It says, hearken to the sound of the trumpet, but they said, we will not hearken. So you want to know what you get for not wanting to listen to the Lord? Therefore hear ye nations, and know, O congregation, what is among them. Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not hearkened to my words nor my law, but rejected it. You want some of that? Because, I mean, they got them airplanes, tearing it up. Tearing it up out there with the remote control airplanes, right? Tearing it up out there. They got the little, we got the return missiles that we can shoot down. Ain't shoot down nothing. You just see it fly right by. Oops, that was just 1 million, right? What about it? What's the question you ask, sis? I'm about to get this law so I can. Leviticus 19. Okay. You know what? I'm not even sure in regards to that, because that would be funny, but we never know, right? There's people more powerful than him. Bill Gates own all this farmland, right? The dude Bezos, he own all that stuff on Amazon. There's people more powerful than him that can say, oh, well, guess what? Now you can't get this. Oh, you can't get that, right? The Most High started World War III, or any world war, right? Elon Musk, there you go. Trying to put the brain chip on people. So, hey, it can go a lot of different ways. A lot of different ways, right? I'm going to get this law and get up out of here, right? But I got to get back. They keep saying, like, you're late. As long as I'm early for the Lord, that's fine. The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 12. And ye shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shall thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. Do not pop your balloon on the Lord, y'all. Again, I'm Officer Ehud Benaniyah, Shirala, the Battle Axes of the Most High, coming to you with another Fervent Friday on the Bid Call Halal Yahweh Bahashim, Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yashirala, Barakatah Akim, Wa'akwakim, Baha. Chat. So, in the chat. I want to bid y'all a shalom. Have a blessed day of preparation. Be safe and put the Lord first. Do not pop your balloon. You may not get it back.